Hello and welcome to this year's Disney-themed banquet. This is an exciting night for all of us and we all have worked very hard to make it happen. When I first started volunteering 3 years ago, I would have never expected to be speaking up here today, and I never imagined that I would be the JV president. I loved and still love my volunteer experience and wanted to make it even better. Last year's officers were certainly a huge source of encouragement, and so were my parents. Today, I am certain that I made the right decision to become president this year, and what an awesome year it's been. From various parades, to volunteering in the hospital with all these wonderful people, to starting the hunting program with Jenna, and finally, partying with all the other JVs at our various work parties this year, this has been the most memorable year of my 3 years as a junior volunteer. My mom has even been inspired by our volunteer work to become an auxilian at Gritman. How awesome is that? I started volunteering at Gritman in July of 2008 after my mom approached me with the idea. I didn't hesitate to apply for the program, and after going through endless paperwork, I think you all remember that big stack of papers we had to fill out, and even a chest x-ray, I was ready to go. When I first started volunteering, I was terribly shy and barely knew anyone. I do not remember having anyone to volunteer with, as I started volunteering around the hospital, but thankfully, I made do. I remember my first volunteering experience. It was the back to school drive party, and I had no idea what was going on, and I was intimidated by all the other more experienced JVs. I remember Jenna McPherson trying to make conversation with me to no avail. Though little did I know, we would become the best of friends. I began volunteering around the hospital by myself, scared as to whether or not I would get lost or somehow forget to use the copying machine. When I first started, I would come in and make the monthly requirements of 8 hours a month, and I would go to the meetings, but I never really signed up for anything. Thankfully, I survived those early bird deals and began feeling more confident as I got to know everyone around the hospital, and the other JVs, of course. I soon began to step up and was the chair of the Back to School Drive in 2009 and eventually ran for president the following spring, a feat that I never thought I would accomplish when I first started volunteering. At that point, I had made many new friends from Pullman, Genesee, Deary, Palouse, Troy, and even Moscow that I never would have met without the JV program. I've also made some good friends. We JVs always have a good time volunteering, but sometimes we hit our hardships. I was volunteering with one of our new volunteers, and we went to volunteer in education. After being given a tremendous amount of copying to do, we went to work. Unfortunately, the copying machine must have had a bad day or something, because the two of us jammed the copying machine multiple times. I lost track at about 10 times. We eventually got the job done, just in time for my mom to call me and tell me she needed the car. Talk about perfect timing. We had a good laugh about it later. Thankfully, the hospital upgraded the copying machines shortly after that fiasco. After completing my 40 hours and having more opportunities as to where to volunteer, I began to volunteer at the Family Birth Center, as the birth center matched closely with my interests, which is working with kids. Jenna was also interested in volunteering at the Family Birth Center, so we began volunteering there together, doing various volunteer work and the immunization reminders. That was another one of the many wonderful experiences that I had volunteering, because I enjoyed seeing names of people that I knew on the immunization cards, and the two of us had a blast volunteering together. Another day, as I was coming in to volunteer, a code pink was going on. Now, because I have never really experienced any code drills, I didn't really know what was going on. So I didn't really know what I could do. I was about to go upstairs when I asked, "Can I head up?" I was asked where I was going by a nice lady who was monitoring the stairwell. I replied, "Volunteer services," and she said, "Why don't you just wait a minute? We are doing a code pink right now." That was when I felt like a loser, because I didn't realize it before. So I waited until they called in all clear and then went on upstairs. My advice to you JVs, try not to come in the middle of a code drill, especially if you've never experienced one before. It will save you a lot of confusion. I'm only teasing, of course. When it finally hit me that this is my last year in the JV program, I began trying to volunteer for all the outside events, because this is the last year I would be able to do them. I volunteered at all the parades over the summer and as many events as I could do after that. I volunteered at the chamber auction, Safe Sitters, the baby fair, the career fair, the teddy bear clinic, the Pullman family fair, and more. They were all a blast, and I encourage you all to volunteer at as many events as you can, because not only do you get some hours in, you have a blast working. I have gained communication and leadership skills that I never would have gained without the JV program. Because of the JV program, I have been able to break out of my shell and become more social and better able to interact with people. I've also learned many other useful skills, such as filing and copying. This is an experience that I will never forget, and I will take these skills with me to any future work that I do. I would like to thank my parents for being very supportive, and I would also like to thank all the JVs, and especially Karen and Debbie, for making this one of the most wonderful experiences in my life, and for being wonderful people. I would also like to thank the officers, Kelsey, Jenna, Jane, Maris, and Nish, for all their help and all the work that they have done. Everyone is an amazing asset to the program and can help take this program far. Everyone around the hospital are amazing people to work with. Thank you everyone for making me the person I am today. I would have never been able to be where I am without all of you. I have enjoyed my 3 years as a junior volunteer and will be sad to go at the end of the summer. To all you JVs, step up and be noticed, and most importantly, be yourself. Enjoy this experience because it will be over before you know it. This is such a wonderful opportunity, and I am sure you will all accomplish something amazing. Believe in yourself because you are all amazing and wonderful people. Break out of your shell, meet new people, and make new friends. Take advantage of every opportunity because you do not know what might happen if you do. Thank you all for coming, and enjoy the rest of the program.